Oh. What's up, everybody? And testing again, can you barbecue? So you see this monster brisket I have here. This is 17.5 pounder. I'm going to show everybody how I trim it up and get it prepped to sit for a few hours before I put it on late tonight, early morning. So here we go. Usually you're gonna have this fat, this right here, this thick fat cap. Sometimes you can pull it off. Right now I'm going to trim as much as I can. I don't want to trim off. I don't want to trim off too much. This heavy fat cap, I'm definitely going to trim all this off. But I am making 3 tonight, smoking 3 tonight, overnight. And you don't want to take off all the fat because you don't want everything else to dry up. But you want to take off as much as you can, just so a lot of it is going to burn off while you're cooking it. So let's go. Get this big old chunk off. Don't need that at all. There's still a little more. So back, this big fat cap I took out here, this brick. I left some of the fat in here just so we can have it. So I'm not burning off too much stuff. I'm gonna cut some of this other meat that's just been exposed to the air a little bit. And we'll start. There's another fat cap on this side that's not too big. But I'm gonna trim it off. You wanna keep some fat just so you're not burning off. Well, keep some fat. Just keep some fat in there so you don't dry out your brisket. But you don't want too much fat like that. Because all it is gonna drip down and burn off and you don't want that. You do not want all that fat, smoke building up. You just want that good clean smoke when you're smoking this brisket. I'll flip it around a little bit. We got a little bit of skin, silver skin to take off on here, but it's not too much. Now you really don't take all this stuff off unless, you're just doing this at home, you're cooking for yourself. Hold on. You're just cooking at home, cooking for yourself, cooking for your family. This prep isn't, like this silver skin up here, this fat on top isn't a huge deal. You're gonna get some stuff burned off. It's not that big of a deal. It's not a competition. It's not something like that. Some of the silver skin I'll take off because I don't want it to be in there when I'm slicing it up and it gets, in case it gets chewy or not. I don't want that at all. I want a good bark once it's cooked.
For those who don't know, what is bark?
So that's a good question. So the bark is, whenever you have a smoked brisket and you see that, it's like the best part of the brisket, I think. So when you see a smoked brisket and it looks charred, it's the crust on the outside. That's that bark. That's that smoke. That's all your seasonings, all your rubs, and everything that's kind of crusted on top of your whole brisket. That's your bark. So you have a good smoke, long cook, you have a good bark. And depending what you put on it. So I'll show you what I use. Hold on, let me get this. bad boy flipped around. So you see, this is where all the fat is. Most of it. And like I said, I want to keep some of the fat because I don't want my brisket to dry out, especially on the bottom, towards the end when you're trying to get it over that hump and everything's burnt. Like, you don't want it to burn the bottom when it's wrapped. I mean, none of this is ever going to be direct cook. This is all indirect. Butchered up a little bit. All right, so there's still a little fat. There's still enough fat. I'm gonna keep it because I like it. We're good. We're perfect. We got a little fat left in this cap down here, but that'll be fine, honestly. All right, little Worcestershire. I'm gonna hit it up. Get it soaked in a little bit. Be a good binder. Hot the bottom a little while. I'm gonna use my favorites. So I got a little Texas Hold'em because I mean my boy Saucy Luke's, and I'm from Texas, so it's a little heat. I don't obviously want it to be crazy hot at all, but it's a good base. So, hit it up. I'm gonna go Chupacabra brisket rub, because I love it. I mean, they're great. Go a little heavy with it. And then last but not least, Q44 beef rub to get that. I mean, it's a great Texas style rub that he makes. Both of them, he makes the original and the beef. It's real peppery, it's really great, and it makes a great bark. You'll see. So here we go. Dried garlic mix in there. Hit it up. And get that bottom side because it needs a little love. Oh, did it hit the gym? All right. So, a little more. Hit up. Get on that fat. So I left a little more fat down the bottom. This is good just because it's going to be down there cooking when I have it wrapped. Even when it's smoking, it's fine. I try to keep as much, not as much, but a little bit of fat down the bottom. It's not a huge deal. I just don't want to dry out the meat. That's my biggest thing. For the bottom, I'm just gonna hit the Texas Hold'em on top, and back to the Chupacabra's brisket rub, and more Q44. Hit it up. This is a big boy too. Hit it all. That's where you're going to get that bark at. This is the smoke and all your rubs. Use that good bark. And whoever hasn't made a brisket yet, your first one, you just need to knock it out, get it out of the way, and then keep going, because it's a long cook. People underestimate it a little bit. Some people are scared of it. But get that first one knocked out and then keep going, because it is a long cook, and you might mess it up your first time. You might mess it up your second time. But once you get it, it's golden. So everybody, I use Chupacabra brisket rub, Texas Hold'em, my boy Saucy Luke's, check him out, and Q44 beef rub. So everybody go, check those guys out. I'm gonna get this wrapped. I'm done for this one. More to come. I'm gonna smoke this guy later on. All right, later guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.